Going on, Jerome. Beautiful Wednesday. Birds are chirping and stuff. And Vikings OTAs back at it again. Week 2. Media will have access today. It'll be good times. And there's a couple players that in the spring, as well as, well, this is still technically the spring, right? As well as training camp, they have a chance to really rectify things. They're on the brink, and maybe some fans don't believe in them, but I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to give them up, even though they've let us down. That's right. So here are 5 Vikings I'm not giving up on. Actually, we'll do 6 as a bonus. So there you go. First up, King, Kene, and Wangu. So Kene's heading into a contract season, the pride of Iowa State. He's only 26 years young. He is the best kick returner in the National Football League, and also I think he's going to benefit greatly from the new kick return rules. But also, even though the Vikings running back room is pretty solid in terms of a 1-2 with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler, I do think that King Kene could have a role. Even though he only has 27 career carries for 88 yards, 3.3 yards per carry. Generally, his offensive time has come in garbage time, but I just feel like he brings an explosiveness that should be utilized, right? So even though, yes, his floor is best kick return in the NFL, and also that's going to have a lot of value this year with the new rules, I feel like that he could bring a little something to the offense. Also, bring a little something is Jalen Speedy Naylor, the pride of Michigan State, where Kid McCardle pounding the table for him back in the day, came in as a 6th-round pick. Now, had a lot of injuries, but has shown flashes of potential. 12 catches for 208 and a touchdown over 2 seasons. He was a star of OTAs last year. He's off to a damn good start again this year, and knocking on all the wood. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He's been working in with the ones with Justin friggin' Jefferson away from voluntary OTAs. That's Ed Ingram. And also you look at the Vikings wide receiver room. So beyond Jefferson and Addison, there's a lot of opportunities to see snaps, whether it's Naylor or Powell or Jackson or Sherfield or Harry or whoever, right? So he's going to have a lot of opportunity to make some hay in that regard. So I do believe in Jalen Naylor, and hopefully he can stay healthy and pan out on that potential that the team saw in him a couple years ago. Next, so Ed Ingram. Now, Ed has been much maligned, even though he's been a 2-year starter, 2nd-round pick, number 59 overall in 2022, and he is part of that much maligned Kwesi adofo-mensah first draft class. But Ed, he did improve last year. Like, still a lot of issues at that right guard spot. 42 pressures, 5 sacks allowed. But then when you remember, he allowed 11 sacks and had 63 pressures in 2022, his rookie season. Slight improvement. Now, if this interior offensive line is going to get off the ground with a new starter, Blake Brandel, and for Dalton Reisner, it really does behoove Ed Ingram to morph in year 3. I think that he does have a chance, has some experience underneath his belt, and also I think that with more chemistry with Bradbury and Brian O'Neill, I think that he could really solidify himself into a quality starting caliber guard this season. Also, part of that 2022 class, Brian Asamoah, the pride of Oklahoma. Now, before Ivan Pace Jr. rose up, Brian Asamoah was the undersized, uber-athletic, modern NFL linebacker, and he's played in 29 career games, 24 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and that was against the Giants on the Christmas Eve game. It's fantastic, man. But even though the Vikings do have an emerging superstar in Ivan Pace Jr., and also they signed Blake Cashman outside, how about that, as well as Kamu Grugier-Hill, I do think that Asamoah has a chance to absorb some of the backup snaps as well as be a plus special teamer. And given the fact that Flores loves sub-package and rotating guys in and out, I think that Asamoah could get a couple of defensive snaps here as well. But again, health has been a major issue with him, so hopefully he can get things going this season. Next, speaking of health, so Caleb Evans showed some flashes his rookie year, but then eventually was placed on IR because he had 3 concussions. Then last year was a starter, but was benched several times by Brian Flores. 855 snaps last year, a 52.2 PFF coverage grade, which is not good. It's no bueno. 3 touchdowns allowed in coverage, including that one interception. Well, it should have been an interception against the Chargers that just popped into Josh Palmer's hand. That's so annoying, man. And also 104.4 quarterback rating when thrown at. Like, if the quarterback rating when you're thrown at looks like an FM station, it's not good. It's not good, man. But Evans has been rolling with the ones so far at the start of camp. It has been Shaq Griffin and Caleb Evans on the outside, round the outside, Byron Murphy Jr. in the slot. So Florida's given him another chance, and he's talented, and I think that he does have a great mentality, and I think that he fits with what Flores wants to do this year, playing a lot more press man. So hopefully Caleb Evans can rise up. And lastly, jumping James Lynch, 2020 fourth-round pick out of Baylor. Now, he was really interesting coming out because he fell in the draft because despite the high-end production, like he's seen as a bit of a tweener, not quick enough to be an every down edge, not large enough to be an every down interior, but I think that he would fit in perfectly with what Flores wants to do in terms of a pass rushing 4-tech, 5-tech, and even though he had his ACL last year during OTAs, 653 career defensive snap, 11 pressures, 2 sacks, they re-signed him for a reason. That ACL is good to go. And hopefully he can provide something along the defensive line because beyond Harrison Phillips and to a degree Jonathan Bullard, I mean, everything else is open. And I think that James Lynch could fill a unique niche and a need in terms of a 4-tech, 5-tech, as well as a pass rushing nose tackle. I think that we haven't seen the best of Big Red. I got faith. We want him to come through. So there you go. But that's it. That's at 6 Vikings. I'm not ready to give up on, even though they let us down. Pretty good. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.